Good morning. I'm Peter Milios from the Finance News Network. Strong earnings and softer treasury yields ease investor concerns further as Megacap Tech stocks lead markets higher. The Dow Jones finished the day 0.85% higher, the S&P 500 rose 0.91%, and the Nasdaq surged 1.51% on the day. In company-related news, chipmaker Qualcomm rallied 9.7% on better-than-expected earnings and strong revenue guidance. Restaurant delivery service DoorDash dropped 10.3% after reporting a bigger-than-expected loss. Used car retailer Carvana soared 33.8% after reporting its best-ever earnings, while Moderna surged 12.7% on a smaller-than-expected loss. Nvidia and Amazon finished more than 3% higher. Apple was trading 6% higher in the aftermarket following the release of its second quarter earnings, which came in slightly higher than consensus, but showed overall revenue down 4% and iPhone sales falling 10%. Apple have also announced a $110 billion buyback, the largest of its kind in history. As earnings season approaches its finish, 3/4 of the S&P 500 constitutes have reported with over 77% beating expectations. Companies are on pace to report 6.9% earnings growth year on year. Technology is the best earnings performer so far, with earnings growth currently tracking 44% better year on year. Investors' attention now turns to tomorrow's April non-farm payrolls report, with economists polled by Dow Jones expecting 240,000 job gains, which would be lower than the last month's 303,000 additions in March. In commodities news, the International Copper Study Group has lowered its copper supply surplus forecast for this year, primarily due to much lower than expected mine production. The ICSG anticipates copper oversupply of 162,000 metric tonnes in 2024, as compared to the previous forecast of 467,000 metric tonnes. Turning to US sectors, the best performer was technology, which finished the day 1.64% higher. The worst performer was materials. Looking ahead at the Australian landscape, the SPI futures are pointing to a 0.5% gain. Thank you for listening and have a great weekend.